Howdy, how's it going? Welcome back, or howdy if you're new. Today, we're going to be talking about some mods for the ROG Ally OG, and I will tease a video for some new mods coming out for the ROG Ally X. So if you want to see more modding videos like this, definitely subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you're looking forward to. And also, thank you to the channel members. You guys are the GOAT, the OGs. Much love. Let's dive in. This will be the second time I've had to film this video, only because I am an idiot and I hit the streaming button instead of recording button. So I might gloss over some of it, and if I did, definitely let me know and I'll try to help you out if I can. So the gist of everything is this is the D-pad mod. Now the D-pad that comes on the ROG Ally and the Ally X, it's not bad, but it leaves a little bit to be desired if you are an Xbox Elite Series controller fan. They are both great D-pads from the factory, but what is cool about the Elite Series D-pad is the hot swappable covers right here. So you can use the square kind or cross, whatever you want to call it, or you can use the circular one like that. And it gives it a totally different feel, having that just rounded design, and it just feels good with fighting games for some people. It's just nice. It's nice to have. Well, now, thanks to a couple people like Yes It's Kira, Technome, and a few other people who had part in this design. I'll toss them up here and I'll leave links in the description below where you can download these files. You will need a 3D printer or you can find somebody to print them for you. And no, I will not print them for you. I'm sorry. Just don't want to do that. But yeah, let's talk about it a little more. Okay, so the D-pad mod. What you're going to need first of all is, of course, a 3D printer or to have someone print up the little file for you. It's going to look a little something like this, and you can put the magnets inside of here. Now, where you get the magnets from to hold everything on is one of these little kits here. They're about $5 to $10 on Amazon. It'll come with a cross and it'll come with a circle, so you can choose which one you want. You could buy them in different colors, like you could get purple, blue, red, green, gold, whatever you want. And you basically pop these magnets out of here with a flathead screwdriver. Make sure you use a permanent marker and mark the top side and the inner side, just so you don't get the polarity wrong when you put them in. Once you get the printed file, you will take the magnets and you will put them in each way that they came out of here. It would be best to use a dab of glue just to hold everything in place. That way they don't come out as you're putting it in. Then the other thing you will need, likely until they modify the file, I think they're going to try to modify the file to make it a little easier. But if you get some super duper duper thin double-sided tape, because there's going to be a little piece like this, it's a little dome piece, and you're going to attach the tape on the back side of that, and then that will go on the motherboard side right there. And it basically allows this to pivot and roll around a lot easier, because without it, it's just not going to feel right. So make sure you print this little nub with this, and then you're also going to print the ring for it also, and the ring is going to press on just like that. So let's go ahead and dive into how you do the mod. Now I'm going to preface this with, if you don't already know how to do the mod, you probably, I'm not going to be rude, but you probably shouldn't be doing this mod if you don't already know how to do it. But because I really want to show you guys how to do it, I will show you guys how to do it. It is not easy. And if you have never taken your Ally apart before, you probably shouldn't start with this mod. I'm just going to warn you, it is not for the faint of heart. And you can also see that, yes, it does work. And I can move it around and there's no false button presses. Feels really, 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 really good. I really like the way it feels. It's an absolute game changer. So let's go ahead and turn this off. And we'll get started. Now, of course, you're going to take the screws out of the back plate. That, you know, it's really not anything I need to be telling you how to do. If you don't know how to take the screws out of the back plate, like I said, do not do this mod. You have no business doing this mod. You will ruin your device. And if you ruin your device, this is at your own risk. I do not care. I am not being mean. but modding is at your own risk. And if you mod your device and you mess it up, that is on you. I am just the messenger. I am not the person modding your device. I say that carefully because historically, if I tell you how to do something, it's generally because I've done it myself. I know it's safe and I know it can be replicated. This is not easily replicated, but it is doable because a lot of people in the modding community have done this already. They've tested it and it does work. Just please mod at your own risk, guys. I can't stress that enough because I've already seen one person with an old mod of mine who didn't even listen to my instructions. He got his heat pipe dented right here, which mine's dented. Look, have you seen me complaining about it? No, I never had a problem with it. And if you dented your heat pipe, it's totally fine and it didn't affect your temperatures at all. And it's just not a big deal. It was a long time ago, over a year ago, and the guy actually lied, completely lied, 100% fabricated a lie and said that I modded his device and I ruined his device, when in fact I have never touched anyone's device. I constantly decline anyone who offers to pay me or get me to do anything for them just simply because I do not want the liability. And historically, I don't care how much you offer me, the answer is always no. There's not enough money for me to do it. It's just not. So that was laughable, and nope, didn't happen. He did it and he was embarrassed. He didn't listen to my instructions because we clearly had a conversation about the thermal pad sizing, and he just clearly carried on and did it his own way, and he damaged his device and then blamed me for it, and the mods believed him and they banned me. And I thought that was laughable, that I didn't even get a chance to give my side of the story, provide any receipts or proof. It was just, they took his side, and you know what? Y'all can have it. I don't care. Alright, so taking the joystick out, the joystick module out, that's basically the first step. You'll do it to the other side as well. If you want to 3D print some thumbstick caps, you could totally do that. Like I said, I've got some more mods coming for this. You may see one, you may not, but just hang tight. I got a really sweet mod coming for the Ally X next. So you want to basically continue on this side. And yeah, if I sound salty about the whole situation, it is for good reason, because the one thing that I have in this world is my integrity and my word is bond. And if I say something, I stand behind it. And if someone says something about me that's not true, well, I'm just not even gonna get into that, but that's just not something that you do in this life. You don't lie, and especially on people who are trying to help you. It's just not how you do things. Okay, so now the next step is you're gonna remove the motherboard. You do not need to remove the heatsink, but you do need to remove the fans. You don't have to unplug them though, so you can actually just remove the fans, gently move those out of the way. And you don't have to remove the motherboard all the way, but you will have to move it out of the way slightly to get access to everything. And I know I've already swapped it out, so it's not going to be 100% the exact same. But like I said, I already did the video, and I messed it up because I didn't hit the record button because I'm an idiot. So we're just going to roll with it and pretend that this is the first time I'm doing this. But it does make for a little bit better, that I can speed through it a little faster for video's sake. So now you're going to remove all your motherboard screws. You're going to set all of those like in one pile. They're all the same. And the cool thing about the Ally is when you're putting this back together, there's arrows everywhere a screw goes. So I thought that was like really freaking awesome, because I don't actually have to hunt and find out where each screw goes. There you go. Dropped a screw. Now, at this point, yeah, I'm gonna have to pull it all the way out. I was about to say, at this point, I wonder if I could just squeak it through there, but we're gonna do the whole thing. Now, also, if you want to change out your buttons for some 3D printed buttons as well, you can totally do that at this point also, now that it's open. There's a few people who are making 3D printed buttons. Actually, one person. I say a few, but they don't make them anymore. But there's like one person in particular on Etsy, but they are only black. If you want more than just black, you should message them, because if we get enough people to message them and say that we want more colors, they'll understand that the demand is enough to where they should make them in anything other than black. Because they make a lot of buttons, and they make really good buttons, like high quality buttons. But I guess they don't understand how many people own an ROG Ally. Maybe they're just not an ROG Ally enthusiast and they just don't pay attention to the market. But that would be really cool if we could get some more Ally love out there in the modding scene. Oh yeah, you're gonna need to undo this clip up here, by the way. I knew I was forgetting something. The Wi-Fi antenna doesn't have to come out, but it would help. But what I'm gonna do is just kind of squeak this on out right there with my thumb. Or my finger. And it's gonna slowly come out just like that. So make it a little easier, but I'm gonna flip it over so you can see the little nub right here. I don't know if that'll focus. Yeah, there you go. So I took the little nub and I put the double-sided tape on the back side of the little nub, a little square about that big, and I just pasted it right there, and it works perfectly fine. And then the magnets, you can see right here. Focus. There you go. And there's the magnets. I put the arrows where they need to go. And I didn't use any tape on, or what do you call it? I didn't use any glue on these, but you really should. It'll make things a lot easier going in. And then you'll basically put it all back in the reverse order, and it'll be absolutely perfect. All right, so when you're ready to put this back in, you will put in the little nub. There's a little nub down there at the bottom. You'll put that little nub in there at the very bottom. Now you'll see I'm missing a magnet, but that's because I lost one of these, and I'm gonna try it with just 3, and I'm gonna see if it actually works and doesn't give us any problems. So sliding it in there just like that, and you'll kind of line it up, the little nub at the bottom. There you go. It's hard to see, but maybe it'll focus, maybe it won't. All right, so now you'll put it back together in the reverse order. Just kind of slide that under like so. It's a little tricky, but it will go back in. There you go. And once that seats into place, just make sure it's in place before you start putting your screws in. I'm gonna do this because this screwdriver got unmagnetized by some of these magnets, I think. Messed around with them. So I'm gonna have to use a different screwdriver. Yeah, it is still recording. Okay. I had to double check, make sure I was still recording. I panicked there for a minute. Just put all these screws back in here, all back in their reverse order. And try to do a little time lapse here as I'm putting all that together. when you're putting this in there, make sure you remember to feed in the RGB cable through the hole. I can't count how many times I have forgotten that part, and that is not fun when you have to take a whole thing back apart because you forgot one ribbon cable. I actually forgot to do it in the other video, so I had to redo it, but it doesn't take long. And I keep getting this thing out of camera focus, and I'm really sorry. Alright, so now that's back together. We'll put the battery in, and then we'll put the other screws. Just like that's a completely different screw, if you haven't noticed, than all the other ones, because I lost it. I don't know where it went. It's in my carpet somewhere. But it is what it is. It's just not that serious. Some people get super serious about screws, and it's just not that serious. It's not that serious. If it works, it works. Don't question it. Alright, so now that's back together, we'll take our ribbon cable. These are always fun. I'm glad we don't... Well, actually, we do have ribbon cables on the new one. It's just on the back plate. It's the weirdest thing ever, but I kind of dig it. But it's just kind of like scary because I know that we're going to probably see somebody break theirs and then like start blaming other people for it. Like, oh, I broke it. Oh. Okay, back plate. Just going to go back on like this. Now, remember, if you've taken this apart, especially on the Ally X, when you take it apart, you should always plug it into the charger first. Wait for the light to come on, and then try to turn it on. That's just good practice because some of these don't want to come on depending on if your light sensor was tripped. It won't come on again until it actually sees some power. So it's just a light sensor on the back. Mine's been covered up, so it's no big deal. So now it's all back together, and that's how you mod your D-pad on your ROG Ally. And the process is pretty similar for the Ally X. I'm going to do that one next, and I'm also going to show you some more mods as well. Well, dang, I got this done a lot quicker than I thought, guys. It turned out awesome. I really like it. And once again, shout out to the peeps that helped make this design happen. They were a big part of editing the files and making the files, and I'll leave them up above and the links in the description and all that good stuff. And if you want to do this mod, let me know, and I hope you enjoy it. And until the next one, I hope you guys have a good afternoon, good evening, or good night.